everyone, it's Caitlin and welcome back to Your Financial Journey. In today's video, we're going to talk about 6 little letters that often confuse people: APR and APY. APR stands for annual percentage rate and APY stands for annual percentage yield. And let's answer these 3 questions. First, what is each one used for? Second, what does each represent? And third, is compounding included? And since we are still in the midst of our credit card and loan series, let's start with APR, or annual percentage rate. APR is most commonly used for credit products, or borrowing, like credit cards, auto loans, personal loans, and mortgages. APR represents the yearly cost of borrowing money, expressed as a percentage. It includes the base interest rate plus certain fees or charges associated with the loan and tries to show a more complete picture of what borrowers will actually pay. For example, a 10% APR on a loan means that over the course of a year, you'll be charged the equivalent of 10% of the loan amount, excluding any effects of compounding interest. And the reason APR exists is to make different credit products, or borrowing, comparable. So if you borrow $1,000 and you have an APR of 10%, you know that the total cost of that loan to you for 1 year will be $100 for both interest and fees. APY, or annual percentage yield, on the other hand, is most commonly used for savings products like high-yield savings accounts, money market accounts, and certificates of deposit, CDs. APY reflects the total amount of interest earned or paid over a year, taking compounding into account. Compounding refers to the process of earning interest on both the principal and the accumulated interest over time. The more frequently interest is compounded, daily, monthly, etc., the greater the yield. And just as APR allows for a comparable comparison across different types of credit products, or borrowing, APY allows for a comparable comparison across different types of savings products. So you know that for a savings product with an APY of 4%, you will earn $40 for a year that you start with a $1,000 balance. So if we look at this table, we can see that the key distinction between APR and APY lies in the fact that they are used for different types of products, as well as the non-compounding versus compounding aspect. Again, APR is used for credit products, or borrowing, and excludes the impact of compound interest, whereas APY is used for savings products and includes compound interest. This means that if you start with the same initial interest rate and assume that interest compounds more frequently than once per year, APY will typically reflect a higher rate than APR. And this difference becomes increasingly significant with larger balances and more frequent compounding periods. Let's take a credit card with a 20% APR for instance. The 20% APR indicates that, over the course of a year, you'll owe interest equivalent to 20% of your outstanding balance. But because most credit cards calculate and compound interest daily, if you carry a balance month to month, the effective interest you pay will actually exceed 20%. So while APR gives you a general sense of cost, it can understate the actual amount of interest accrued if you don't pay off your balance regularly. Moving on now to APY. Imagine that you deposit money into a high-yield savings account with a 4% APY. The 4% APY includes the effects of compounding over the course of a year, assuming no withdrawals and consistent compounding intervals. For example, if the bank compounds interest monthly, each month your account balance increases slightly, and the next month's interest is calculated on this higher balance. This compounding effect gradually increases your total earnings beyond what a simple interest calculation would yield. Check out my sister Ava's video here if you want to learn more about the difference between compound interest versus simple interest and how compound interest can make you a millionaire. Understanding the distinction between APR and APY empowers you to make smarter financial choices. If you're taking on new debt, the APR helps you to evaluate the cost of that new borrowing relative to other types of loans, credit cards, and etc. Similarly, if you're opening up a new savings account, the APY helps you evaluate the return on your investment relative to other savings products. For borrowers, a lower APR can save hundreds or even thousands of dollars of interest. For savers, a higher APY can accelerate your wealth building. Always remember, the lower the APR is, the better it is for you as a borrower. And the higher the APY is, the better it is for you as a saver. Okay, my financial friend, I hope you found this video helpful. And if you did, don't forget to like and subscribe. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you again next time.